Hey, everybody, welcome to Hearing God in Luke chapter 21. And in today's edition, we're going to get a glimpse into the spiritual realm and into the reality of spiritual warfare and also the presence of angelic beings. So that's very exciting. The context is just prior to Jesus's betrayal and arrest. He is in the Garden of Gethsemane with his disciples. He is desperate to pray and for his disciples to pray with him. And it says in verse 41, and he withdrew from them about a stone's throw and knelt down and prayed, saying, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. And then verse 43 is the key for today. It says, and there appeared to him an angel from heaven strengthening him. Now, I want you just for a minute just to imagine that. There appeared to him an angel from heaven strengthening him. And the reason I think this is so important for us today is it gives us a glimpse of the reality explained in Ephesians 6:10 through 20. That's that famous passage about our spiritual armor and spiritual warfare. And in Ephesians 6:10 through 20, I think there are several key principles that relate to what was going on here in the Garden of Gethsemane. Principle number one is this: we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. And put another way, that which happens in the physical realm is a result of that which happens in the spiritual realm. So it could be argued that, hey, the action really is in the spiritual realm because that's what impacts and dictates what happens in the physical realm, which raises the question, where is our focus? Well, we tend to focus on the physical realm, and that means our attention, our focus is a lot of times misplaced. Principle number two: before we go into spiritual battle, we must put on the spiritual armor. And then principle number three: prayer is the means of spiritual battle. And so those are the principles in Ephesians 6:10 through 20. Again, I think we see Jesus embodying them and being an example of them here in this passage. And we see this little glimpse, this little crack into what's going on in the spiritual realm as an angel from heaven comes and strengthens him. And so in my application, ask the question, do I really pray as if these principles in Ephesians 6:10 through 20 are true? Do I really pray as if everything depends on what happens in the spiritual realm and is impacted by prayer? And if I'm honest, I don't pray that way. If I did, I would in fact pray continually and fervently as if everything truly depended upon it. If I'm honest, my prayer life today is probably more described by obligation. I know that I should pray. I know it's important, and so I do, but also optional. I don't pray as if everything depends on it and as if everything is impacted by prayer, as if what happens in the spiritual realm dictates what happens in the physical realm. And so, very convicting for me that way, but needed. And then in response, letter R: Father, revolutionize my prayer life. May I pray like Jesus with the results of Jesus. Unleash your supernatural power in my life and give victory in the spiritual realm. And then finally, send your angels. Send your angels the way that you did for Jesus in the garden, when it says in verse 43, and there appeared to him an angel from heaven strengthening him. Again, I think it's important for us to recognize that's not just a fairy tale. That's not just imaginary. That's real. That's real. And so thank you for joining me today. Look forward to sharing with you again soon.